Coordinate geometry. Equation of a straight line. Equation of a straight line. Get it? Equation of a straight line. Understood? Right. To find an equation, you must know two coordinates on the line. Say x1, y1, and x2, y2. This is case one. Okay. These are the requirements to find the equation of a straight line. Or the next case is, if you know one coordinate on the straight line, if you know just only one coordinate, are you here?
Yes,
If
sir.
you know one coordinate on the straight line, then you must know the gradient of the straight line. Then the equation of the straight line is given by y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. All right, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. You used to use y equals mx plus c, right? And then later on, you just use a coordinate to find the c value and then substitute back into the equations to find or to write the main equations. Get it? But here,
Yes.
without finding the c value, we can straight away find what? The equations.
Equation.
Correct? Of the straight line. So there are two different cases. If you know two coordinates on the straight line, we can find the equation of the straight line, or you must need to know the gradient and one coordinate. What is the meaning of the gradient? The slope of the line. Correct? So this is the equation we use to find the what?
Equation of the line.
Equation of a straight line. Straight away will give us, this equation will give us the equations. What are the meaning of y1 and x1? One of the coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate. You just need only one coordinate. Okay? And then m is a gradient. M is a gradient. And you don't replace x or y. It will be as it is in its own positions. And then y1 and x1 will be any coordinate on the line. All clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next, I'll just give time for you to copy it later. I'll just cover the entire theory part best. Gradient. Right on heading gradients. Gradient. You can write within brackets slope. The equation is given by, you already know that, I think. y2 minus y1 divided by
X2 minus X1.
x2 minus x1. You must need two coordinates to find the gradient. You must need two coordinates to find the gradient. Say for an example, 1, 3, 1, 3, and minus 5, 2. So the gradient m, simple m, is given by 2 minus 3 divided by minus 5 minus 1, which is minus 1 over minus 6, which is 1 by 6. Got it? The gradient.
Yes.
Right. When it comes to these kind of questions, I'm just going to do one examples to write or to find the straight lines equations. For an example, say you have a straight line. You have a straight line and one coordinate is given on the straight line. Say the 1, 2. And so if you know one coordinate, it comes to this case, belongs to this case, then you must know the gradient of the straight line. So it will be given to you. Say the gradient is -1, and you are supposed to find the equation of this straight line. So you just use this formula, which is y minus y1. y1 is one of the coordinates, y coordinate. One of the points, y coordinate, which is 2. So because I have only one option to choose it, right? equals to m into x minus x1 is what? X coordinate is 1. You have to choose the same point. Okay, to substitute x and y coordinates. Agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Now you just simplified. Y minus 2 is equal to minus x
Plus
plus 1. And then make y the subject, which is minus x plus 3 is the straight lines equation. Right?
yes.
What if they give us two coordinates? Say, I'll just still choose this this one, 1, 3, and minus 5 over minus 5 comma 2. And minus 5 comma 2. Look at this one. To apply this equation, you must know the gradient first. So you know how to find the gradient, which we already found it. So that must be a first step, which is 1 over 6. All right, 1 over 6. You must find the gradient first, 1 over 6. After finding the gradient, you just apply the equations. I mean, y minus, which coordinate you would like to use?
1, 3.
1 comma, anything is fine, okay? You just need only one coordinate as long as it's lying on the straight line, that's enough. So I think this is easy instead of dealing with the minus, because probably you will make mistake. So y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Let me bring the 6 to the left side, just by multiplying everything by 6. So just 6y minus 18 is equal to x minus 1. You can still write like this by making one side to 0. Understood that part?
Yes, sir.
This is how we find the straight lines equation. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. Let me talk about the other case, which is right on heading. The distance between two coordinates. You know how to find the gradient now?
Yes.
The distance between two points. Distance between 2 points. Imagine you have a straight line and you know two coordinates, 2 points, and then we are supposed to find the distance between them. Say x1, y1, and then x2, y2. We are supposed to find this distance, say d. That equation is given by the equations to find d is given by square root of x1 minus x2 whole thing squared plus y1 minus y2 whole thing squared. Here you can change the order because you're going to square it. So the final answer will be exactly the same, even if you write it as x2 minus x1 whole thing squared plus y2 minus y1 whole thing squared, because you're going to square it anyway. But remember, when you write the gradient, you must make sure that the order is as it is, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, you can't change it. So this is the equations to find the what? Distance between
2 points.
2 points. Understood?
Yes.
Distance between 2 points. Right. Next one is midpoints. Right on heading, midpoints. Midpoints. Okay, I'm just going to refer the same diagram here. Midpoint will be somewhere exactly between these two coordinates, correct?
Yes.
I'll just mark the same. So the coordinate of m is given by, we just add the x coordinates together and divide by 2. And the y coordinates together and divide by 2. Because this is a midpoint. For an example, say you have 1, 3, and 5 and 8. We are supposed to find the midpoint. It's somewhere between them, exactly in the middle. You need to find the coordinate of m. What do you find? 1 plus 5 over 3, sorry, 2, and 3 plus 8 over 2. Okay.
Yes.
So this is then 3, comma, because 6 over 2, which is 3, comma, 3 plus 8 is 11, 11 over 2. Agree with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is how we find the midpoint. Understood so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one is to find points of intersections. These are some easy calculations. Point of intersections. Imagine two straight lines are intersecting. Something like this. This is what the point we call as point of intersections. We are supposed to find the equation, sorry, the coordinate of that one. Say this line's equation is 2y is equal to 3x plus 1. And this line's equation is a y is equal to minus x plus 3. You get it? Both the lines are intersecting, right? Both the lines are intersecting. We need to find the coordinate of this. Let that point be A. It's just like simultaneous equation solving. You know how to solve these two equations, correct? What I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it's 2 times, instead of y, I just use this one. I'm just going to substitute over here. I just replace this y with this. I'm going to replace that y with this minus x plus 3 equals to 3x plus 1, which is then minus 2x plus 6 is equal to 3x plus 1. So 5x is equal to 5. You can see that x is equal to 1. After finding the x coordinate, you can just find the y coordinates by substituting into one of the equations. I think this is easy. If x is 1, y is 2. So the coordinate of A is 1, 2. You see that?
Yes.
That's how we find what?
Point of intersection.
Point of intersections between two straight lines. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next concept is parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel and
Perpendicular.
perpendicular lines. What do you mean? What is the meaning of perpendicular?
90
Parallel means if two lines are parallel, then they have the same gradient. Remember that. Say this one is M1, then the gradient of the other one is also M1 because they are parallel. Parallel means they have the same slope. Gradient means slope. What's the meaning of the gradient? Gradient means the slope.
No.
They will have the same gradient because they are parallel. Correct? Because two lines can't be parallel if they're directed towards in two different angles. So it must be directed towards one single angle to be parallel, right? So that's why they have the same gradient. But if two lines are perpendicular, that means they are intersecting at 90 degrees. Perpendicular means 90 degrees. They are intersecting at 90 degrees. You see this one? They are intersecting at 90 degrees. The angle between the two straight line is 90.
90 degrees.
Say the gradient of this one is M1 and the gradient of this one is M2. Then if they are perpendicular, and if you know that they are perpendicular, for an example, they won't straight away mention it. For an example, if it's a square, you can see that these two sides are perpendicular to each other, right?
Yes.
So the gradient of this line, okay. So M1 times M2 is equal to minus 1. This is the relations. Okay, if two lines are perpendicular to each other, and this is the relations we use to find what? If you know one of the gradient, I mean, if you know M1, you can find M2. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Because the product of them must be equal to minus 1. For an example, if M1 is equal to 5, then 5 times M2 is equal to minus 1. So M2 is equal to minus 1 of 5.
105.
The other line's gradient, which is perpendicular to M1 line, is equal to minus 1 of 5. Or you can just simply think that minus the reciprocal. Whatever the gradient you are given, say M1 is equal to 3 over 4. You just put the reciprocal of this one to find the other one's gradient. which is perpendicular, you would just write the reciprocal and then put a minus in front. Minus the reciprocal, because if you just multiply them together, you get -1. You see that? 3/4 times -4/3. They cancel out, right? And you end up with -1. Okay, minus the reciprocal. Do you agree with it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Could you please take a note of this?
Yeah.